James Barbour, the current Phantom of the Opera, is with us today. And Phantom of the Opera is currently at the Majestic Theater running on 44th Street for the last 28 years, James?
28, yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You are just, you replaced Norm Lewis.
I did, yeah.
And from what I understand, you gave an absolutely wonderful audition.
Brilliant.
Yes, it was
brilliant.
Fantastic. What was your, what's been your experience of coming into the show?
You know, it's funny, Norm and I came up together, and, you know, of course, I know Hugh Panaro and Howard McGillen.
Hugh
yes. Panaro. And actually, Hugh, years ago, because I live in California normally, he went with me and actually picked out one of my dogs with me. So, I mean, we go way back.
Yeah.
But when I walked into the dressing room and Norm was sitting there, he had ice packs on his knees. And I'm like, come on, dude, really? And he goes, I'm telling you, it's like the most physically demanding thing you'll ever do. And I'm like, come on. It is so physically demanding. It is, Andrew has written, it's a gorgeous score. But, you know, and you're familiar with his music.
Sure.
It's very difficult to, I shouldn't say difficult to sing. It's a joy to sing, but it's really, it takes a lot of attention. It's not something you can just sort of skate through.
Yeah.
But given that, and given the structure, I talk about it a lot, it's been successful because of this structure that it has. And we don't deviate from that structure. We have a box within which we can work, but not to go outside of that structure. It's simultaneously been confining and liberating at the same time.
Exactly. And, you know, I was up for the Phantom of the Opera as well. And yours went very, very well, but mine went absolutely horrible.
What happened?
Well, I was in Les Mis at the time, and you know, you get those, all of a sudden you get a cold.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you have, you know, those kind of things, and I was a little bit nervous about it, and David Caddick was, you know, going to audition me.
Yeah.
So it was really a sit down with just the pianist and him.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I'd worked with David at Katz, but it was in a more in a lesser role, and so I was there. And as soon as he started to sing, you know, la da dee da la da da da, and then all of a sudden he started moving his arms like this, and I thought that I should do that too. So I was like, da da da. I was doing that. And at the end, he was very kind to me.
Very kind
he just said that he says, Joel, he says, you're not the only person that's done that. So I said, oh, you know, I said, liar, you are a liar. But those are the secrets that, you know, you don't want people to know that you did that, but it's kind of funny now. And
come on, we all do it. You know, I remember years ago, Mark Kudish and I were standing. We were all auditioning for something. And one of our buddies was inside the room, you know, and he was singing this thing, and he was hitting this note, and he went, da 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 da, yeah, because and we were all like, whoa,
yeah, whoa.
But he went, and we've all done it.
Yeah,
you know, we've all. In fact, Carousel, when I did Carousel, and I was singing Bailey Bigelow, I cracked on one note, and I walked out, and it was Audra, you know, and and Shirley Verrett, the great Shirley Verrett, and all she did was she looked out of her dressing room door and she went, "We all do it, huh?" And it's just it's live, you know, and we're human beings with, you know, we're not robots, which makes it exciting.
Well, there was something on the internet for a long time of Colm Wilkinson doing 24601, and he just, I mean, it was, that last note was. And he kept on trying to get it, you know. It was like, it was just cracked heaven. And there's been a lot of Javert's too. It's just, this I swear by the star.
You know what? This is something that I mean, theater people get, but I remember, you know, we do 8 shows a week.
Yeah, it's a grind.
It's a grind. You have 1 week off every 6 months. Normally, you know, like we do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 2 Thursday, Friday, 2 Saturday. So we don't really even have a full day off between our matinees.
Right.
And so when you're singing like this, you know, I met some opera people who are like, well, I normally do 6 shows a month. And,
Exactly.
And
2 shows a week.
And the voice needs that rest.
And they all talk. Oh, they talk up here, so they.
Well, they're all Irish, you know.
Well,
most of the people in opera are Irish.
There's a little bit of Irish in everyone, you know. But they always, keep it off the chords.
Shirley Verrett was Irish as well, but she didn't have this accent all the time.
So you just got into Phantom, and how are the houses?
I've been there a year.
Oh, you have? Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Well,
Yeah.
it seems just like
It's
normal
flown
there.
by.
Yeah.
The audiences are incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, just incredible. And over the Christmas holiday, we were like 1.6 million, 1.4 million.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just an anomaly. And recently I'm mostly doing new works. So to come in to something and you're like, wow, they're packed.
Yeah.
And the fans are incredible. I mean, Germany, Japan, Brazil, America,
Yeah.
Canada, all over the place.
Right.
And so it's quite wonderful.
Well, now after we've devoured our opening presentations of food, how was your salad, by the way?
It was delicious.
Yeah.
It's great.
Fantastic. My soup, the wild mushroom soup, was absolutely wonderful. Tasty, so smooth. It was beautiful. So we were talking about the projects that you might like to do, and you were saying that you're a producer as well.
Yeah, what happened a while ago, I think it started when I was doing Beauty and the Beast, is, I looked at the longevity of performers, specifically in the theater, and, it's not like television and film. Television and film, you do a television show or film, you get residual. We only get paid while we're working.
Right.
And so I've always had this entrepreneurial spirit. I have other businesses that I have in multiple facets. Because, like you, I have kids, and the goal is, obviously I want to be successful in the field, but I also want to be able to provide and help other people. I have a big help button in helping other people. Mm-hmm. So when I looked at it, and I looked at all the different and amazing people who have talent, I thought, how can I help? How can I create projects that will have a residual income and affect people in a positive way? So I started producing live concerts, and I have a company that produces live concert events. We film them, we stream them.
Oh wow, that's great.
DVDs, pay-per-view. We have I'm involved in a brand new startup that's totally entertainment based. That's going to be able to bring all kinds of creative people together to, I guess, in an effort to connect them so that they then can create things going forward. I can tell more about it later. It's not out yet. But in terms of performance, the stage is the stage. It's unique. One thing I did that Cameron McIntosh also went to was Witches of Eastwick. It's a musical version. I did the original reading with a young girl named Kristen Bell, who you may remember Kristen Bell.
Don't know her at all.
Yeah. And after we did the reading, this is 99. Like, what are you going to do? She goes, I don't know. I think I'm going to go to LA. Did pretty well. Subsequently, it had a run in London, and then a little bit through Europe and Australia, but not really here. There was one run at the Signature in Virginia, and then I did a version in Maine last year, and Cameron kind of wants to get it done again.
Was that at the Main State?
It was at Algonquin.
At Algonquin?
Yeah.
Okay.
But a lot of the...
That's my original, that's where I'm from.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Maine.
It's gorgeous up there.
I got my equity card at the Brunswick Music Theater,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is now the Main State Music Theater.
I got mine doing TheaterWorks USA.
Yeah, sure.
Travel in a van wearing a purple Dr. Den.
Yeah, buddy.
Setting the setup.
Yeah.
That's something that, it's interesting when you look at, because I'm going to be 50, right? And I look at a lot of the kids that are coming up, and there's a sense of like, I just want to do it now. I just want to be on Broadway. Mm-hmm. And I got to get my next job. And I remember talking to Gil Cates, who has since passed, who, ran the department at UCLA and the Geffen Theater and directed the Academy Awards. And he had Carl Malden come in to speak to the students at UCLA.
Oh. Wow.
And they're like, well, what did you do? Like, when you got a job, were you looking for your next job? And he said, I don't understand what you mean. He goes, well, you were looking for your next job. And he goes, no, this was my job. We did it until it finished.
Yeah.
I wasn't moving forward. Certainly there's a need to look for the future. But the reason I mention it is because literally I traveled around in a van with 6 other people, got to a venue, set the setup, the other actors set the sound up, and this was equity, you know, and we did 2 shows, got in the van, traveled to the next place, slept, got up, and it really taught me, I guess, the not only altruistic nature of what we do, but also the work ethic. And I think it's vital to have that sort of almost internship.
But I'd also like to say about Carl Malden when he says, "What do you mean? That's all that we did." And that's also, I think, probably what has happened in this is that now, you know, everything, information is just doubling at the rate of every month or two now. It's just, you know, so if you're not thinking, you're in a show, but you're thinking about what you want to do, everybody's thinking about, gee whiz, I don't want to be lazy, you know, I don't want to enjoy the, you know, I want to plan my career, so to speak. So, I mean, that's the way everything is right now. And I think we've lost something, we've gained something,
sure,
but we've lost something.
Look, you know, there's the big hoopla about cell phones in the theater. The thing, it's not going to change.
Yeah.
It's just not going to change. So, you know, even though we make the announcement, Patti LuPone did her thing, I still see cell phones in the theater. People texting, people watching.
And
so
people
the question
holding them up and recording
of course,
your performance.
But it's not going to change. So how do we integrate it? You know, I remember a friend of mine went to see the Monkees. Remember the Monkees in concert?
Yeah.
You guys are not going to remember the Monkees. And he said, one of the guys was like, "Hey, you know, I just want to let you know, for you guys who are recording out there, if you find a way to make money from it, let me know." Right? Because you're not going to change it. So how can we integrate it?
Right.
How can it be part of? How can 140 characters on Twitter be a part of what we're doing?
Well, I think that's too, is that if they really look at it and, you know, they'll find some ways that when a person comes into the theater, their cell phone will be rendered useless, which they can't really do, because if there's an emergency or something like that, you have to be able to
Yeah, but
be in
look,
contact.
there was a time when we didn't have cell phones. We would go to the theater and you had no idea what was going on, and someone had to come and find you. The other thing, theaters are putting free Wi-Fi in the theaters.
Right.
So, you know, there's multiple things to it. You know, sure, can you check your cell phone and, hey, you'll check your cell phone, you get a free drink or a free snack. You know, it is technology, and it's growing and growing and growing.
It sure is.
The thing for me is, I want us as individuals not to have to work at 140 characters a minute. We have the ability to work at 140 characters, I mean, in a text, but perhaps we can slow down.
We could slow down.
And use technology how we want it.
And there you have it, folks. We're here with James Barbour, currently the Phantom of the Opera, now playing at the Majestic Theater on West 44th Street in downtown Manhattan. We'd like to thank the Aldo Sohm Wine Bar here at 151 West 51st Street for letting us have an absolutely wonderful lunch. I mean, the lunch was, I'm full, but it's light. It feels,
that's
it was
what I was
so
saying.
eclectic,
it's delicious
and just
and
lovely.
light, but filling.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and so please, thank you very much for coming in and listening to us today as we enjoy our lunch together. And make sure you make your reservations for the Aldo Sohm Wine Bar right now.
Promotional consideration provided by Aldo Sohm Wine Bar, where each dish is created in tandem with Aldo's philosophy on the relationship between food and wine. Aldo Sohm Wine Bar, 151 West 51st Street in New York, 212-554-1143.